But within it, there's the cervical orgasm, which is inside of a woman. It's a cervix. It's located all the way up inside of the vagina. So typically that orgasm is going to be felt as more of like a rolling wave type orgasm. And then there's going to be the G-spot orgasm, which is up on the anterior wall. So if you put your fingers up and you kind of make a come hither motion, that's where your G-spot is.
Come hither.
That's the squirter.
Come hither.
That's
exactly.
the squirter.
Is that the one that makes
Yeah.
women squirt? Okay.
That is exactly the one that makes women squirt.
Yes,
and
that's my favorite one. That's my favorite one.
That one is going to be a little bit more. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. That one's going to be really powerful, as you can assume, because it's supposed to squirt. And the way that one is stimulated is that the G-spot has a lot of erectile tissue around it, and so just the same as like inside of the penis. And so when you're stroking that area, it starts to fill up. And come into like have basically creating that cum, and that's how you're able to squirt. Then there's the clitoral orgasm, and that's going to be the one that's most common for women. That's the one that most women are going to be able to feel really easily. It's also the one that we start with if a woman has never had an orgasm before, because it's on the outside, and also it's really easy to be able to stimulate that area. Sometimes it can even be overstimulated, so we have to work with that. And then there's going to be the anal orgasm, which for women happens because there's a bunch of different nerve endings, and there's a specific kind of nerve called the pelvic nerve that also runs through where your clitoris is. Because the clitoris is not just like that little head and then like what you see. What it is the clitoris is actually a head with a bunch of legs. And so it's this huge structure inside of the internal system. And so when you're having anal for a woman, you're actually pressing up against the internal part of the clitoris. And so that's how you have an orgasm for women. And then for men, of course, it's going to be the prostate. And that's the prostate that is located inside of the ass, and it's in between the ass and the penis. And so that's how men are able to have that kind of orgasm. And then there's the typical penis orgasm that happens, which we all know, ejaculation. Yeah. But then there's all these other kinds of orgasms that you can have. You can have like breast orgasms. You can have third eye orgasms. You can have energy orgasms where you're not being touched whatsoever, but you go through that same sort of deep, intense pleasure. I once had a joygasm in a cafe. It was really embarrassing. It was one of those like classic Harry Met Sally moments where like you're panting at a table and you're like, oh my God, what's happening to me right now? Yeah, so there's that, and then yeah, it's kind of like if you really focus on any area of your body and learn how to bring pleasure into that area, you can have an orgasm in it.
When you're listening